Greetings. My name is John Peterson. I'm the Executive Director of School Administrators of South Dakota. Today is July 20th, 2010. We're at the Ramkota Inn in Pierce, South Dakota. It's the annual Superintendent's Conference. Today we have over 100 superintendents that registered for the conference. And the first session this morning that I attended was a group of superintendents met with Brian Hansen, our guest here, to talk about Fellowship of Christian Athletes, a program that's a part of many of the schools in South Dakota, and one that I think will see some additional schools join. So with that said, Brian Hansen, welcome to our podcast here today. Let's start out and have you tell us a little bit about who you are.
Well, I am the director of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in South Dakota. I've been doing that for the next 12 years. Working with Gordy Bosness, who's a well-known figure in South Dakota. He's a former basketball coach at UW and has been with FCA as a state director for 12 years and serves as our development for the last 7 years.
Now, tell us a little bit more, Brian, because, you know, I'm like a lot of South Dakotans. We follow athletics, especially professional athletes, so I think you're a bit humble here, but you do have a little background in football. Can you share a little bit of that background?
Yes, I started at USF, Paul's College at the time. Bob Young, his first season has taken over service in my last.
Okay.
1 year of Bob. And he was a big inspiration in my life, a big impact in my life. Bob was the guy that saw coaching as his ministry. It's kind of neat now that he's working with us as our coaching ministry. The last couple of years, it's amazing thing going on in our coaching ministry. And FCA, the foundation of our ministry is based on coaches. We have limited contact with players and athletes, with coaches, or guys. So we're just working at a whole new level, working with coaches to develop them as ministry partners and so I played football with Bob for a year there, then got drafted by the Northern Saints, and that's when they were called the Aints.
Yes,
Things have changed considerably since then.
Was Archie Manning there then?
Archie was actually playing the Vikings.
Okay, really?
Last season there. And so we just were making the turns. Good things were happening. Gilmore came and we had a couple of winning seasons. Had our first playoff run. Got beat by the Vikings. And was there 6 years, went to New Orleans, came with Cleveland, New York Jets, and then got retired. They retired me, as they currently do. And started working with FCA 12 years ago.
Okay. You know, back to something you said a little earlier, Brian. Coach Young, it's interesting because, you know, as a former school superintendent, did a lot of interviewing and hiring people. And I can honestly say that you know, that the number one person that was mentioned more than anyone else was always Bob Young, especially when I interview coaches. This to me is always important. Who do you look up to? Who helped get you to where you're at today? And I can't believe the number of young men, especially, that talked about Coach Young and the positive impact he had, and the good human being, and the spiritual side of that. You know, I mean, he's got to feel good about that. You know, in life certainly we want to win more than we lose in the athletic arena, but I think having people respect you is probably ultimate. He's done so much. Well, with all that said, tell us a little bit about Fellowship of Christian Athletes and what's going on in South Dakota.
Well, our mission is to present coaches and athletes and all the challenge and ministry received in Jesus Christ, his Lord and Savior, serving Him in relationships and fellowship in the church. And so we're basically a sports ministry of coaches and athletes. And like I said, the foundation of ministry is coaches. Bob Young's been a big part of that. Gordy Fosnes has been a big part of that, their relationship with coaches, the admiration and respect that they have, gives us credibility, and enables us to present our message. Hope and faith in Christ. Sports is great thing to get involved in. And you learn there's a lot of character building traits and positive things that you take from schools. And really, it's a model more than anything. We've got to teach us, to test us, and all the sympathy is important. I mean, to look at it any other way, try to make sense of, we live in a sports-crazed world, and so much of our society is based on winning and losing, and how your team is doing, and you go through ups and downs in seasons, you have winning seasons, and losing seasons, you have injuries, and all the things that happen to you in the season. And you look at the bigger picture, what's it all about? What's the greater purpose of it? John Wooden talked about coaching being a sacred trust. No coach can trust in lives of young men and young women that are spiritually sound and don't build their program around a relationship with Jesus Christ. And so we try to incorporate that idea, that concept as a coach. Why are you coaching? And we have a great purpose to build a godly young men and Coach Young and Coach Bosworth those kind of guys coaching.
Now, the individual groups of schools are called huddles.
Yes.
That's the group that comes together. How many huddles do you have in South Dakota? How many schools right now?
We've got around a huddle, 100 middle schools, high schools, and colleges across the state. We also have about 50 coaches huddles, which is kind of a new thing that Coach Young started a few years ago and was growing significantly. There's been a great need for coaches that come together on a weekly basis and go through what we call the legacy programs program, that basically a Bible study that teaches them, coaches them how to be effective spiritual leaders on the team.
Brian, we've only got a couple of minutes left, and I could ask you lots of questions because I think this is a very interesting topic. Certainly, the spiritual side of our students is important to all of the districts. I think in South Dakota we're very concerned about that. With that said, nationally we hear a lot of talk about how schools have to be so careful about bringing the spiritual side into school. Do you find that in South Dakota, or are we a little bit different than some of the other states?
South Dakota is a little different than most places.
Yes.
In a good sense, because we have a lot of open doors and opportunities that a lot of states don't. I think unique in that sense. We've got a great relationship with the Activity Association in South Dakota that allows us to have access to the kids and present the message that Mercy is all about. And that is unique. We have state tournament events that present the gospel and share the challenge of kids in their faith and present that message.
Well, as far as I know, this is the first time the Fellowship of Christian Catholics has been part of the Super Tennis Conference, and